Hello everyone, I'm Brazen Eagle and thank you for joining me here. So today, we have two articles that both involve the supercenter store called Walmart. So first from Yahoo News. Police identify armed man arrested at Missouri Walmart. From Springfield, Missouri. 5 days after 22 people were killed at a Walmart in El Paso, panicked shoppers fled a Walmart in Springfield, Missouri after a man carrying a rifle and wearing body armor walked around the store before being stopped by an off-duty firefighter. And that's a picture of the guy here. Really, he's kind of a kid. Police on Friday identified the man as 20-year-old Dmitry Andreychenko, who lived in the Springfield area. Andreychenko was being held in the Greene County Jail on suspicion of first-degree making a terrorist threat. Well, if you actually read about this, he's not making a threat at all. Police did not immediately offer further details about the nature of the possible charge and said no further information would be available while the case is under prosecutorial review. No shots were fired during the incident on Thursday. Andreychenko was arrested before he was stopped by an armed off-duty firefighter, Springfield police said. No one was injured. The Springfield News leader quoted Lieutenant Mike Lucas saying that Andreychenko arrived Thursday afternoon wearing body armor and military-style clothing. He walked inside the Walmart carrying a tactical rifle, whatever that means, another gun, and more than 100 rounds of ammo, Lucas said. Lucas said an off-duty firefighter held the suspect at gunpoint until police arrived about 3 minutes after receiving an initial call. His intent was not to cause peace or comfort to anyone that was in the business here, Lucas said. In fact, he's lucky he's alive still, to be honest. Security video from inside the store would be reviewed to determine Andreychenko's demeanor and a possible motive, he said. His intent, obviously, was to cause chaos here, and he did that, Lucas added. Walmart issued a statement Friday that praised authorities for stopping the incident from escalating. It said Andreychenko is no longer welcome in its stores. This was a reckless act designed to scare people, disrupt our business, and it put our associates and customers at risk, said spokeswoman Lamia Jenkins. We applaud the quick actions of our associates to evacuate customers from our store, and we're thankful no one was injured. The Greene County prosecutor is reviewing the case to determine possible charges, police spokeswoman Jasmine Bailey said. The potential charges in the case will depend on Andreychenko's actions while he was in the store, said Dee Wampler, a longtime Springfield defense attorney and former Greene County prosecutor. Carrying an assault rifle in public is not necessarily a crime, Wampler told the news leader. If he was looking at people in a menacing way, or if he was saying something to other customers that was threatening to them, those would be factors and could result in felony charges, Wampler said. He also could be charged with a misdemeanor peace disturbance or a different misdemeanor if he was told to leave the store and didn't, Wampler said. Since January 2017, Missouri has not required a permit to openly or conceal a firearm for those 19 years or older. And this guy was 20. Roughly 30 states allow the open carrying of handguns and rifles and shotguns in public without a permit. San Francisco-based Giffords Law Center to Prevent Gun Violence and said 6 states generally prohibit the open carrying of rifles and shotguns. Of course, California, Florida, Illinois, Massachusetts, Minnesota, and New Jersey, along with D.C., the Law Center said. California, Florida, and Illinois also generally ban the open carry of handguns, as do New York and South Carolina. Springfield is about 165 miles south of Kansas City, Missouri. So this article doesn't tell you everything about Mr. Andreychenko. So he's about 20. This article says that he's 20. So basically, I'll give you a quick rundown. Some guy, Andreychenko, walks into Walmart with a rifle, ammo, a handgun, and some body armor, and films himself with his accessories, with his phone. This is something that the news article here from Yahoo left out. That actually, Andreychenko here, he, had his firearms, had his body armor, and some live ammo, but the rifle was not, or did not have a round chambered in the gun at the time when he went into the store. What he wanted to do with his phone, he just wanted to make sure that his Second Amendment right was still protected in Walmart, apparently, according to him, from other news sources. Yahoo News doesn't do this story that much justice, but it's interesting to note how much news that Yahoo News left out. But basically, Andreychenko here, he wanted to test if Walmart actually cared about the Second Amendment. So, the article said he was stopped by a firefighter because a firefighter pulled out a gun and pointed it at Andreychenko, thinking that this guy would be a shooter, and the firefighter threatened to harm Andreychenko based on his appearance. Now, overall, this is very stupid. Andreychenko, he's a 20-year-old kid. He shouldn't have done this. He's an absolute idiot who wanted to prove that it was legal, of course, for a person to carry his firearms and body armor into a Walmart. While technically, this is completely legal. This was incredibly stupid, though, to do this, especially after the shootings at El Paso, Texas, and the Walmart in El Paso. While it's legal, this was incredibly stupid. Apparently, in Missouri, open carry is legal, which is fine. I've absolutely nothing against the Second Amendment at all, but Dimitri was just being a dum-dum here. But now, apparently, he's potentially being charged with a misdemeanor or felony, which honestly probably isn't very fair to him either, because his motive was to test if Walmart respected his Second Amendment rights. So, you could technically make a pretty good case for Dimitri here, because he was discriminated against because of his appearance, and that he was doing everything legally. There's nothing he was doing that was illegal in his actions, despite what Yahoo News doesn't tell you. But you know what? Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something. Just because you can open carry and carry body armor and a rifle or two and a handgun fully loaded, well, almost fully loaded, doesn't mean you should. It's good for defense, but, you don't always have to do that. Now, the biggest takeaway here from this one story is that I see that from this incident is that the firefighter and, of course, other people made it okay to legally discriminate against an individual based on their appearance. I thought it was a bad idea to discriminate against a person based on what they have or how they look. I guess I was wrong, and that discriminating against people you question is totally okay. Discrimination is okay. This is what I've learned from this article. So now time for the second article, which more plays into the title of this video. Anyways, so basically, Walmart takes down violent video games displays but keeps selling guns. I wonder what type of bias they have here by keeps saying that they still sell guns. So, this is from August 9th, from the LA Times, or Los Angeles Times. Walmart Inc. is removing displays of violent video games and movies in its stores in the wake of 2 deadly shootings at its locations in Texas and Mississippi in recent weeks. Walmart Chief Executive Officer Doug McMillon this week said that the company will be thoughtful and deliberate in our responses to the shootings, which left 22 people dead in El Paso and killed two employees at a store in South Haven, Mississippi. The company has no plans to stop selling guns or ammo, spokesman Randy Hargrove said in an interview Sunday, the day after the El Paso shooting. That's not enough for a growing chorus of critics that now includes Senator Elizabeth Warren, a presidential candidate, who tweeted Friday that the retailers should do the right thing, stop selling guns, and express support for a rally planned by gun control advocates this week in Florida. A man armed with a rifle was arrested Thursday at a Walmart in Springfield, Missouri, which I just went over. Supporters of stricter gun laws have said that Walmart, as one of the nation's biggest sellers of guns and ammo, with more than 4,700 stores, could do more to stem the flow of firearms in the U.S. This week, a worker at Walmart's San Bruno, California-based e-commerce division organized protests against the company's policy. Walmart will now become a target for activists, said Ron Culp, an expert on crisis management and former head of public relations at Sears, who now teaches at DePaul University. Pressure will continue to build, so I'd get out in front with some sort of position that goes beyond video games in the store. They have to display leadership on this issue. Walmart's new rules on video games were outlined in a memo distributed to stores titled Immediate Action, Remove Signing and Displays Referring Violence. The directive also said to cancel any in-store events promoting combat-style or third-person shooter games that may be scheduled. Verify that no violent movies are playing on TV sold in the electronics department. Turn off any hunting season videos that may be playing in the sporting goods department and remove any monitors that show the videos. Wow, that's a bit much. Honestly, we've taken this action out of respect for the incidents of the past week, and this action does not reflect a long-term change in our video game assortment, Walmart spokeswoman Tara House said. Nick Chester, a spokesman for Epic Games, the maker of the popular third-person shooter called Fortnite, declined to comment. Shannon Watts, founder of Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America, an arm of Everytown for gun safety, criticized Walmart's move to restrict images of violent video games. Are they aware of some data that video games are causing gun violence, she said. It's an NRA talking point. Michael Bloomberg, owner of Bloomberg LP, the parent company of Bloomberg News, founded and helps fund Everytown for Gun Safety, a nonprofit that advocates for universal background checks and other gun violence prevention measures. Excuse me. Some Walmart staffers expressed skepticism of the move on a popular employee message board. One posted the following: "But we still sell real, actual guns, and we're getting rid of virtual violence. Like that's going to help anything." Walmart, whose founder Sam Walton was an avid hunter, has shifted its gun policies over the years. It stopped selling handguns in 1993, and in 2015 ceased sales of assault-style rifles. Last year, the company raised the minimum age to buy a gun to 21 from 18 after the mass shooting at a high school in Parkland, Florida. The Parkland massacre prompted other big gun retailers such as Dick's Sporting Goods to also restrict sales. And their shelves fell on Friday, but they're still up a certain amount for this year. No one cares. So, basically, Walmart has temporarily removed its display of violent video games and movies in an attempt to look neutral about violence. They're trying to do something which can sometimes land you in more hot water than what you intended for. To some, this gesture might be considered nice and respectful, but to others, others will find it problematic, because by doing this, by removing displays of video games and violent movies, Walmart is assuming that violent video games or movies causes mass shooters, which of course it doesn't. Now, some people might tell me that violent video games do cause more violence because of what shooters in El Paso or Dayton, Ohio have said or have done. But if you read the shooters' words, you see that the shooters compare with what they are doing or what they will do with things that could happen in video games. The video games mentioned by the shooters were just being compared and did not inspire, of course, anyone to kill anyone. Now, I have two more articles that could talk about any correlation, talking about the video games and violent behavior, which actually found that overall, video games could help reduce the amount of crime after a hotly anticipated title comes out. If anything, video games might actually help reduce the crime rate. But I'm not going to read these articles to you. If you would like to read these articles for yourself, I have linked everything in the description below. But it's very interesting to see that Walmart is trying to do something and attempting to try to stay neutral. I don't think this is a really good look for Walmart. And besides, people who criticize Walmart for selling guns don't really understand that Walmart is an okay place to buy a starter firearm, but if you really want to get into a collection of firearms, you go elsewhere. Walmart is maybe the beginning grounds if you're interested in firearms, but other than that, I don't know that many people that actually buy lots of guns from Walmart. But anyways, thank you very much for watching, guys. I'm Brazen Eagle, and I hope you have a great day.